gentlemen, welcome back to your Fishers Game Day. It's the sectional championship, and your Fishers Tigers are taking on their rival, the HSE Royals. We got the number 6 ranked Tigers versus the number 11 ranked HSE Royals. Aiden, what do we see from an interesting night of weather tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this morning we got a whole lot of precipitation, a lot of rain coming down. We kind of expected it to be some rain during the game, but that looks to have gone away. It's a pretty modest temperature right now. It's low 60s. By the time the game starts, it'll be the high 50s. We've seen wind all day, but that seems to be dying down. So, I mean, really, we have pretty good weather conditions before it gets cold again here in Indiana. Tommy, what did we see from the first round of sectionals?
Yeah, thanks, Aiden. You know, your Tigers defeated the Noblesville Millers 41-13 in the first round of sectional champion round last night, and HSE beat the Homestead Spartans 24-10 in the first round as well. Cash, you know, big game tonight, sectional championship.
Huge game, yeah.
Students need to come out, you know, Mudsock rivalry. What do you got them wearing tonight? What do you expect from them?
I think that we should expect nothing less than some red out tonight. We're playing Mudsock, our rivals. They have their blue on. I mean, we just got to show them it's a color war. We got to show them who's the dominant color and who's coming out victorious tonight.
Yeah, I think I know.
This is some great fans.
I think I know the answer to that question.
I think everyone does. Yeah.
You know, as I was saying last week, your Tigers dominated the Millers 41-13, was up 41-6 at halftime, so we had to allow the first team some rest. They didn't play at all the second half, so should see a nice and well-rested Tigers team.
Our defense, especially, is the key to this. Our defense has been hot the last 3 weeks. They're playing out of their mind, the best they've played all season. And also, our starters, have allowed only 4 completed passes on 13 attempts last game. That's phenomenal. I mean, this defense is just really something special, and I'm excited to see what they can do tonight. Yeah, I mean, Cash talks about the defense, and I'll talk about the offense. Obviously, offense that struggled to find its stride in games like that Brownsburg and Westfield game, but recently it really looks like they've picked it back up again. Obviously, scoring 41 points is huge, and I mean, that is led by your running back who's returning that game, Ryan Timbalimbu, with 10 carries, 89 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So really nice to see him hit his stride again, getting back. Obviously, he'll be playing again tonight, and just really nice to see him hit the end zone a few times. And overall, Tigers had not a lot of trouble finding the end zone in the limited time that the first offense saw the field.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have him back, have him back in his stride. He lives in the end zone. I mean, every game we watch him, you see him score multiple touchdowns. If you don't see him score a touchdown, I think you have a better chance of winning the lottery than seeing that again. But I want to talk about our MVP on and off the field. Number 11, your guy, Vincent Rosie. He had 4 receptions for 65 yards and 2 touchdowns. But then off the field, he received a $3,000 equipment grant for his catch in Week 3 against the Noblesville Millers. If you want to see the video right here, it's pretty special.
Includes high school. This week's winner is a senior from suburban Indianapolis who's on the receiving end of a beautiful touchdown. And with more, here's former Jets and Dolphins quarterback and current high school football coach in Lexington, Kentucky, Chad Pennington.
Our winner this week goes to Vincent Rossi from Fishers High School in Fishers, Indiana. Vincent here is playing the lone receiver at the top of your screen. First, I love his stance, and then his approach is phenomenal. He has great speed running this go route, making sure that he attacks the DB's leverage and then works to the outside, and then look at this finish. Goes up with 2 hands, able to get his foot in bounds to make a great catch. What a way to play. Congratulations, Vincent.
Indiana may be a basketball state, but all things coming up Indianapolis football too. In honor of that terrific way to play example, the NFL Foundation will award a $3,000 equipment grant through USA Football to the Fisher High School Tigers.
Let's all give a round of applause to Vincent Rosie. I mean, that's stuff
awesome.
right there. I mean, coming into this year, for you guys that tuned in last year, we had John Anthony Hall wearing number 11. It was big shoes to fill, and I think Vincent Rosie has filled those shoes. Not only filled them, but I think he's exceeded expectations by far.
Absolutely.
Breaking records, getting us grants. What more could you want from the number 11? It's truly special stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, Cam. Kind of transitioning, these 2 teams is not their first time playing this year. They met back in Week 4, the regular season, and Fishers did win that game 28-16. HC on the season 6-4 with losses to Fishers and Brownsburg, as well as a couple close ones with Zionsville and Westfield. So this team's nothing to look at, and as we'll talk about here, they got a good team, and definitely not overlook them at all.
And if we want to, take into account some averages from this season for HSC, they've been scoring 22.5 points per game, and they've allowed just under 20 points per game, which is actually for high school football. That's some really good stats. That's nothing to look over. So HSC will be playing their backup QB freshman Deacon Johnson in week 4. Terry Walker went out with a gruesome ACL tear. Prayers up to him still. But Deacon Johnson, he's done his part, and I mean he's played well. He actually does have a D1 offer from Maryland, and he has a lot of other schools looking at him as well. So I mean it's not a quarterback to overlook. He's definitely a different player than Terry Walker, and let's see how our defense adjusts to that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously talking about that with Deacon Johnson, a freshman quarterback inserted into the game kind of abruptly in that game against the Tigers, and obviously the rest of the season, you would expect that HSC would find most of their success on the ground, but really it's been the pass game that's kept them alive this season. 2,016 yards through the air while they only have 1,135 rush yards. I mean, they have attempted more rushes than they have passes, only by a small margin, but really just picking up a lot more yardages off their pass plays. I mean, that's pretty typical of an offense, but it is pretty abrupt. They're averaging over 10 yards per pass completion, while they're only averaging 3.8 yards per rush. So really just, if we can shut down that pass game tonight, force them to run the ball, which they have done successfully against us in the past, I mean, that's a good recipe given the way this offense operates.
Yeah, in recent matchups between HSC and Fishers, HSC has really found the ground game. I remember number 5 Carter Reed finding the end zone last matchup, but they definitely can run the ball on us, and I hope that's not the case tonight. They can continue to struggle on the ground. But to switch sides of the ball, this defense, a very aggressive defense. They have 19 takeaways on the year, 14 of those being interceptions, and then the 5 being forced fumbles. They're averaging about 2 takeaways per game, and they have 34 sacks on the season, so a very aggressive defense that, likes to get to the quarterback, create havoc, and make him throw passes you don't want to throw. But like Kat said, speaking of number 10, Deacon Johnson, he stepped up big as a freshman, taking over for Terry Walker in that gruesome injury. He's averaging 158 yards per game, has 10 touchdowns on the season. He does have 6 interceptions, but he's played his role well. He's not one to rush the rush the ball much. He likes to stay in the pocket and find his receivers. I think those interceptions come from just staring down his receivers, but he'll learn how to stay away from that and broadcasting his throws to minimize those interceptions.
I want to add, I've heard a little bit of just the talk and from the scouting reports, like he's definitely a guy who likes to stay in the pocket. He will have a tendency to stare down the receiver. So, I mean, defensive backs can read his eyes, hopefully, and come up with some pass breakups, maybe even some turnovers. But yeah, I mean, he's only attempted to rush the ball 6 times, and he's averaging negative yards on those rushes. So really just want to force him to try to get that ball out quick and hopefully ineffectively if we're able to bring a lot of pressure and keep him in the pocket.
Definitely a pocket player, yeah.
Absolutely, and his favorite target, wide receiver, number 4, Kendrick Pennybaker, who on the season averages 95.5 receiving yards a game. He's got 859 total yards and 6 touchdowns this season, and averages 21 yards per catch. So big play guy, can definitely be a momentum changer. So gonna have to keep an eye on number 4 over there. Kind of on the other side of the ball here, number 43 linebacker Matthew Ruiz, got to look for coming off the edge and in coverage. 9 sacks for him, 2 forced fumbles, 7.5 tackles for loss, and he's got an average of 7.6 tackles a game. Definitely somebody to look at.
Let's go back in time a little bit to last year's sectional championship where we played HSC again. It was an amazing game, a phenomenal game that ended in a nail-biting, I think with like 1.2 seconds left on the clock. Jace Ruggles catches a touchdown back of the end zone. It was something insane to see. Obviously, that gave us the go-ahead score, and we ended up winning that game. We've won 4 in a row against HSC since
3 in a row, looking to make it a 4th.
Sorry. You know how I get. We've won 3, looking to make it 4. But I mean, those are some really good percentages, beating HSC recently, and I'm glad to be on this side of the field.
Absolutely, and I'm usually the injury report guy, and I got great news. I got nothing to report. Your Tigers should have a healthy squad tonight. So that 4th win in a row, looking we got it.
No disrespect, Tom, but I'm glad you're not speaking during that segment. You know, usually we've seen throughout the season that you're speaking down a list. Guys with
I'm glad
injuries.
It's the longest
I'm
segment.
glad you're like
I'm not talking. Absolutely.
And obviously having a full lineup, like you hope you have a full tank of gas tonight. Obviously, one team's going to have their season end tonight, so obviously the stakes are high enough where you would think the teams would give it their all. But, I mean, we should just have plenty of energy, obviously a full roster. Hopefully that can mean we can sustain points in all aspects of the game. Like we last Mudstock obviously jumped right out of the gate with 21 straight points unanswered, and then obviously, unfortunately, they have a quarterback go down with an ACL tear, and the trajectory of the game changed a lot because of that, and we really just looked to bleed the clock out for a good portion of the game. But we want to see, in a game that could very easily be a dogfight to the end, we want to see sustained scoring throughout the game, especially in those third and fourth quarters.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of taking it around the state for the first round of sectional play. Upset alert really for you. Lawrence Central defeats Lawrence North 28-26. That is their
great.
They snapped Lawrence North's 7-game win streak against them. So props to them, and what a time
North,
to do it.
Yeah, Lawrence North, I believe, was number 2 or number 3 ranked in the state at one point. Obviously, a game they very easily could have stole against us in a comeback fashion, especially if they had their leading running back. And I mean, just really close game, really good team, and going down.
That's probably the statement of the week in terms of IHSA football. You would think LN would be a team that kind of moves on. You'll see them playing in semi-state, regional, even make it state run. But Lawrence Central pulling off the upset, huge snooze for Indiana fans. But I want to move back on to our side of the bracket. So the winner of this game will take on the winner of the Westfield and Carmel game. And when Westfield and Carmel faced off earlier in week 2, Carmel dominated them 34-10. They were up 28-0 at halftime. Hoping for kind of a closer game, maybe hoping for Westfield to sneak one out and defeat the dominant Carmel Greyhounds season that they've had. But like I said, the winner of this game will actually host the winner of Westfield and Carmel for the regional championship. So if you hoping to stay on this field and see a good matchup next weekend.
And I was going to say, that's nothing to overlook. Carmel, we lost to Carmel and Westfield this season, so either of those are going to be a phenomenal matchup, 100%. And I'm excited to watch that game.
I mean, 2 very good teams. Obviously, you look at the game so far this year, the resume, like you might, for officials fans' perspective, you might look at the games and favor the Westfield matchup, a game that seemed very winnable, very in our hands, just a lot of turnover problems that hopefully we could mitigate if we 100%. Get them again. Obviously, in Carmel, also first game of the year, so really just looking like to clean up the sloppiness in that game if we play them.
And against Carmel, I think we really started locking in a little bit in the second half. We came out there.
Just came out too slow.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, and I think that we're gonna take it much more seriously if we play Carmel again.
Yeah, I mean, the defense, they only had one stop the whole game, and with the defense playing so hot right now, I actually like that matchup. You know, I think they'll kind of flip the script on that. Our offense will get going as usual. But I do like both matchups, whether it's Carmel or Westfield. But we got to win this game first.
Absolutely. 100%. Don't overlook this one. That's a blue school.
I think that's kind of like all of our rundown and talking points for today. We'll kind of get to some fun stuff right now. We got a Bobbing for Apples segment, and we're going to bring on your principal, Mr. Goodwin. So we'll be back in just a minute.
Welcome back, Tigers. As we mentioned before, we got a little bit of a fun activity. We have 2 contestants that are going to compete head-to-head, bobbing for apples. So let's introduce the contestants. Who am I here with?
I'm Charlie Rutz. The Bowden Young.
All right, so both of these contestants will have 1 minute to get the maximum potential apples that they can bob out. The rules are pretty simple. You can only retrieve the apples from this bucket with your mouth, so no hands or any movement like that. So what's the game plan going into this, Charlie?
I think I'm gonna use my teeth.
Okay.
You know, I got a pretty large mouth, so just bite in, grab it out.
Any strategies against this opponent or anything of note?
Not really, you know. I think I'm just gonna win the game. Easy as that. Easy as that.
Bo, what are you thinking taking down your opponent here, Charlie?
It's a throat game and a lips game here.
Okay.
So you got to really use that to your advantage. That's how we're going to win this one.
You think you have those abilities in your bag for tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm born for this.
Okay. So Charlie, you want to start us off here with the 1 minute on the clock and see how many you can get?
Let's do it.
All right. Set the tone. And by the way, just for you that don't know, there is a Chick-fil-A gift card in the mix right here for those of you that don't know. So the winner will get a Chick-fil-A gift card. The loser will go home with nothing tonight. But obviously them appearing on the show is rewarding enough. So I believe we have the clock going here with Cam. So we will put Charlie on. He has 60 seconds to retrieve the maximum amount of apples that he can. And Cam, why don't you give him the countdown?
3, 2, 1. Go.
Yeah, go. Okay. Not a strong start, but it's all about learning how to do this. Let's see. Okay, we got a lot of spitting and not a lot of apples being retrieved right now. Okay. Okay.
This is not possible.
He's oh, there's an apple! He's got one! First apple out. Oh, he's flinging them out. Okay. Oh, he seems to have figured it out. How much time do we have left on the clock? This is a great performance. Oh, we got 19 seconds left for him to get the maximum amount. He's really getting into this. I mean, a full head of water here. Looks to 4 apples so far came out. That's a 5th apple. What's the time looking like?
5 seconds.
We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is time.
Great aim for effort.
5 apples from Charlie. I mean, he got into it. He got into it. I mean, putting everything on the line. You know, it's sub 60 degrees right now. Obviously, he's going to be cold the remainder of the night, but, you know, it's worth it. It's worth it. So, Bo, do you think you can match this?
No.
No? All right, well, we have 5 in there now for a chance to match it. If not, we can slip some more apples in if you get on a roll here, but let's see what you got in the tank. I mean, you were talking about the strategies that you have coming into tonight, so we really want to see what you have to bring here. All right, 60 seconds is on the clock for our second contestant.
1, go.
Okay. Coming up a little short this time. Okay. He's going with he's tilting the bucket. Not a whole lot of apples. Seems that he's struggling with all the water. This is not the finest hour for Bo here. There's an apple. Takes a huge chunk out of that one. Okay. We're halfway home. He's got 1 apple. He's going to have to really pick up the pace. But obviously there's a learning curve. Come on, Bo! He needs to pick up the pace. I don't think he's going to make it. Charlie had 5, guys. He only has 1. That's a second apple.
Get in the corner. Come on. Down the corner.
He needs 3 more. He's got 10 seconds. This has to be an incredible effort. Here he goes. He's got a 3rd one. Front row seat. I got a little way here. Oh, my God. Time. And we got a winner. Charlie. Come here, Bo. Charlie, both contestants come home. I mean, Bo definitely is worse for wear. I mean, this guy is soaked. But, I mean, it really was the tactic today. I mean, Bo left it all out on the line, but Charlie was able to, you know, take it home. And he's a lot less wet, so just you could definitely. Oh, we got a little bit of a stage issue here. we'll take them off stage. We appreciate your willingness to come on this show today and your level of compete. Obviously, we can all see from at home the level of heart that you put into this activity. But obviously, Charlie, you're going home with free Chick-fil-A tonight. Yours truly.
Thank you.
I mean, he's eating well tonight after this game, and obviously he put everything on the line to get the opportunity to win that Chick-fil-A. So we thank your contestants again for stepping on this show, and we hope you enjoy this game tonight.
Thank you so much. Go Fishers!
Yeah, go Tigers!
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that segment. It was a kind of a funny segment. I didn't expect it to get that wet.
It got wicked.
But now, as you can see, we have a special guest, Principal, Mr. Goodwin.
How we doing, Tiger Nation?
Yeah, so I mean, we just want to ask you a series of questions. Obviously, as the team, the Tigers are running onto the field right now, and you get the reaction from the crowd. So I'll kind of ask you about this atmosphere. Like, what does this Mudsock game mean to you as a principal, as an administrator? Like, from your eyes, what do you see as the importance of this game?
It's pretty cool. I mean, obviously, schools have a lot of different things that we're worried about, both in the classroom and outside the classroom. But I'll be honest, like, what happens in athletics is really important to the culture of the school. And then to be in a community like this where there's two high schools in the same district, that's a really big deal, and honestly a thing that a lot of schools don't get to benefit from. I mean, we're the only two schools in our conference that have something like that. And so it's a big deal for our community, it's a really big deal for the guys on the field, and I think it's going to be a great night of football all around.
I got to ask you, you've been around this rivalry for a long time. What's your favorite Mudsock memory so far?
Woo! Okay, we've had Mudsox that have gone into like overtime and double overtime, but I gotta be honest. I mean, our sectional championship win last year in football was like something like you just see in a movie.
Yeah.
And that photo with that, it's like, I'm sure it's infamous everywhere of Jace Ruggles in the end zone.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
It's hung up in the team room, and I mean, that obviously means something.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So that was a big win for us.
Yeah, we see you out on the field, every year, every game. What really stands out to you about this year's team, the coaches, the players, that sets aside them to make a run this year?
I think the sign of a good team, in some of our best teams we've ever had, in some of our worst teams, I judge a team by how they progress throughout the year. We've had really talented teams before that just did not get better as the year went on, and we kind of, you're kind of riding talent at that point. And this team is one that we do have a ton of talent on the field, but we have played better football towards the end of the year. There are like pockets of really good football that I have seen that's like, oh my goodness, like our boys are getting better. And so I'm excited that, I mean, as far as injuries and health are concerned, we've got a really healthy crew out there tonight, about as healthy as we have been in the last 7 weeks, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so really excited to see what they can put together, but proud of this team for how they've progressed throughout the year.
And I have probably the most important question out of all of this. If you could join the football team for one play, what position would you play?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Says a lot about a guy.
Yeah, I'm like 5'7", so you're not going to put me on the line. But I was a track and field runner through high school and college, and so I'm going to play wide out.
Yeah.
We're running the post route, and I'm going deep. Jake Stern is going to find me for the end zone.
I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to take it away from football. Obviously, you talked about how it's more than just a group of football teams and two schools, but how it's also a school district. So, I mean, what have you been proud to see so far in both the students and the staff so far this year?
This is something that I think our community won't understand, and that maybe even our students don't understand, because like you're just living your high school experience. Fishers High School is still a really young school, less than 20 years old. And one of the reasons we chose that phrase that we say every day at the end about build tradition, it's really important because truly just 20 years ago, and that may seem like a long time to you guys, not even born yet, but it's a pretty young school. We're still the youngest public high school in the state of Indiana. And so it was really important for us 20 years ago to really think about like, how do you actually build traditions that are worth it? And what's really cool to see, you asked about pride, you know, like stupid things like the Santa, that is just a tradition that took off. And we built that. And like there are things, so when we say that phrase about have pride, show character, but particularly the one about build tradition, we have built some really awesome traditions over time that then even you guys benefit from now. The avalanche, Tiger Cage, the Santa, the things for AC and the banner, you know, all of that stuff is actually really important. Obviously, we're here for education first, but more importantly than that is about the student experience, and I am so glad to see our students just owning their experience in high school and making the most of their 4 years.
Yeah, I want to say, like my favorite tradition is the Riley Dance Marathon.
Yeah.
All the stuff we do through Riley.
Great, yeah.
We started something this year, a hide and seek, and we actually had quite a show.
That was fun.
You want to give some thoughts on that?
Okay, so I gotta be honest. I mean, full disclosure. So the student government students came to me and said, we want to do hide and seek, and I'm like, guys, it's never gonna work. And I'm usually like, I'm not a negative guy, but I'm like, guys, there's just no way people are showing up. But they promoted it. Students were engaged. We had 257 kids show up, and I predicted 30. So they totally blew me out of the water. That's what I get for doubting the Tigers. But that was really cool, just to see, like, you know, it's like it's a kids game, right? But everyone just wanted to connect, have a good time, connect with their school, and really awesome. And I think that will be a tradition that carries on because it was such a success this first year.
Yeah, and I really think we've seen this pride all throughout the year. Obviously, we're going to have the AC shortly visiting us tonight, and there's a reason why we're in the running for the banner in the second straight year of the row. And obviously, if you haven't already, go vote. It's all over the Tiger Cage Instagram page being promoted. So still, I don't know if it's closed yet, the window, but if you have not already voted, go vote for us.
Go vote.
Absolutely. But it speaks volumes just to the fact that we're in consideration again. Obviously, a young school, and I mean, just fans bring it week in and week out. So there's a reason why they're at this game.
Yeah, 100%. The top four comes out at 11:08 p.m. on Wish TV, and you'll see if the Tigers are making the top four, and they're going to make a run for back-to-back banners. Any other questions?
I think we're good. We can make some predictions.
Some predictions, I think.
All right, Cash, what you got for us?
All right, so, I mean, this is a tale as old as age. This is literally mud sock. This is where we want to be at. This team is a very good team. They have a very good defense. They are allowing under 20 points per game this year. But we have played them already. We know their habits. We know their routines. We know what they're going to do. And we came out on top last time. We came out on top earlier in the season, week 4. I just think without Terry Walker, and they have their freshman quarterback starting, and I think we're going to take advantage of that. Maybe later on he can develop into a very good quarterback, a very good player for them.
Yeah.
But this is their freshman year. We've got a team full of seniors. I mean, we have only a couple underclassmen on the rosters. I just don't see Fishers losing this. I'm going to say your Tigers in a close one, 31-24.
Love it. All the pressure's on us tonight. You know, they're playing with the freshman quarterback, but when you have like Coach Funk and the coaching staff we have, you can't look to the sides that, you know, I got to trust the coaching staff. They got these guys in the right spot. There's no better time to be playing football right now. The defense hot, the offense hot. I like what we got. I got your Tigers winning 31-20 tonight.
I like that. Can we go ahead?
You bet.
Go for it.
Same thing these guys said. It's going to be close. You know, HSE Fisher's going to be close. And you heard me say earlier, sign of a good team is a team that gets better. And honestly, HSE is playing better football. But you already know, right? Tigers on top.
Oh, yeah.
Tigers 30, HSE 24.
Love it. Awesome. Well, as we were saying earlier in the in the show, this is the first time these two teams have seen each other, and it's always nice to be able to turn on the film against an opponent and see yourself. So both teams, it's a benefit for both. They're going to come out, fixing the problems of last game. I think the Tigers actually had three touchdowns called back to penalty in the first matchup. So you clean up a couple penalties, and man, that game was a lot spread out than we thought. So I think that it's just going to continue tonight. Sectional championship, last game possibly for these seniors, and they're going to come out hungrier, I think, than the Royals. So I got your Tigers winning 28-14. We'll go 14.
A big win, a lot of spread. I mean, obviously Cam just talked about the pressure and the pressure being on us. I actually got to disagree. I mean, watching the warm-ups right now, it seems like there's no pressure and it's business as normal, and that it's just calm and routine and ready to take care of business.
Not to mention we have home field advantage.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously Deacon Johnson, a guy that's already has an offer to Maryland. He's a really strong quarterback, only a freshman, and shows a lot of sign for room for improvement. But with all due respect, there shouldn't be a world where he's able to step into this hostile away road game environment in a win or go home situation and steal a win against us. I mean, we're in the run for the banner again for a reason. The fans need to bring it, and I think obviously the way the players are acting right now on the field, they're ready to bring it. I like your Tigers 34-17 tonight over your Royals.
Awesome. I like these predictions.
You ready to close out?
I think. Any closing?
Coming on and
Another
great year. We're on the basketball season after this, but we got some football here.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure to drop some comments who you want to see, what you want to see, and tune in to next week.